Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 840 of Screw the Commute podcast. Today we're going to talk about scare tactics. Whoa. This is a copywriting technique based on my course, copywriting901.com. Now I know this sounds extremely harsh and mean, but I assure you, when I explain how it works, you will see it's not mean at all. Now, I hope you didn't miss the other copywriting episodes I've done recently. 839 was on frequently asked questions, 838 was on cost comparisons, 837 was on teasers, and 836 was on bonus testimonials. Of course, anytime you want to get to a back episode, you go to screwthecommute.com/ and then the episode number. 836 bonus testimonials, 37 teasers, 838 cost comparisons, 839 frequently asked questions. All right. Make sure you grab a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free and check out my mentor program at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com. All right. Let's talk about scare tactics. I know it sounds like a harsh term, and it may ruffle the sensibilities of you really nice listeners out there. But don't worry, it's not mean-spirited at all. And it helps your prospects really think about the value of your product or service. And also, this technique causes them to think about what they could lose if they don't have your product or service. Now, since I've trained tons of professional speakers, many of them ask me what my main goal is when I go on stage. And I usually have them guess. They say, well, to sell stuff. And I say, oh, no, that's a byproduct of doing a good job. Some say to help people. And for me, that's kind of a given. Others say to build my credibility. And yes, that's a reasonable answer, but it's not the main thing on my mind. The main thing is to scare the heck out of people, all right, in a nice way. And you say, well, Tom, how do you do that? And I'm not a speaker, so what does it matter to me what you do on speaking engagements? Well, the same technique works on stage and in written and video sales letters. Now, here's how the technique is implemented. I want the audience members to know, or the people that read my sales letters or whatever, in no uncertain terms that there are consequences to not knowing what I know or not having my product or service. So here's an example. So I might be on stage and talking about getting ripped off on your websites. So I'll point to a lady. I say, ma'am, right there where you were sitting, there was a lady in one of my audiences that spent $80,000 on a website, not one visitor or one sale. I would never let that happen to you. The message there is that if you don't know what's going on with your website, it's easy for web people to overcharge you for things you could do yourself for $150. Sure, you're welcome to go off on your own, but without the knowledge I have, you could get taken for many thousands of dollars. Now, I do several examples of this in my speeches and sales letters, and my examples are true and credible. And I'm not twisting people's arms or pressuring them into buying. I'm just showing them real examples of what could happen to them if they don't have my knowledge, product, or service. And there's nothing mean about it at all. And frequently I have people laughing when I'm telling these stories. Now, you can't find anybody in the tens of thousands of people from my live audiences and millions of people that know me online that would say I'm high pressure and arm twisting obnoxious to get them to buy stuff. No, you can't find anybody because I don't do it. So your assignment on this episode is to think of all the consequences of not having your product or service and work them into your sales process. It's that simple. You're just alerting people of what could happen to them if they didn't get your stuff. All right, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Check out greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, the longest running, most successful, most unique ever in the field of internet and digital marketing. It's a mentor program that's one-on-one with me and my entire staff and has a bunch of cool things you can't get anywhere else. So check it out, and happy holidays.